Hey guys, it's Extreme Strategy here, and today we're going to be checking out the Gnoblar Hordes mod, made by Lost to Insanity, and this mod adds in a brand new faction for Total War Warhammer 3. And we're going to be checking out all the lords, all the units, and then we are going to be looking at a demo battle of how this faction functions inside of combat. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up we have the Head Honcho. The Head Honcho is shielded, anti-large, has good stats. He also has missile resistance 20%, Honcho Helm, melee defense plus 5, and missile resistance plus 5%, leadership plus 4, and a decent area around him, exactly 35 meters. Wounds, charge reflection, charge defense versus large, fight or die, melee attack plus 24, and leadership plus 16. Ogre Tooth, melee defense plus 24 and unbreakable. The only problem is that he takes damage per second whenever this is active. And then lastly, he has Foe Seeker. Next up we have the Lord Nabo the Masked. He has Vanguard deployment and stock, as well as his special abilities being Lucky Hat, which is damage resistance plus 40%. Another takes its place, Green Scorpion Venom, which is a DPS with a speed minus 15% and melee defense minus 15%. Heroic Killing Blow, and Slippery. And then the final lord is Brog the Gutsman, armor piercing, anti-infantry, and ogre charge. His special abilities are Great Gut Gorger, which increases base weapon damage and armor piercing damage every single time that he makes a kill. Kin Eater, which makes him unbreakable. Loner, speed plus 15%, leadership plus 12% if no friendly units in ability range. Gutsman Comes, leadership -6. He also has Marked for Slaughter and Foe Seeker. As for heroes, they have a Scrapper, they have a Bone Chewer Beast, a Bone Chewer Great Maw, a Wool Belly, and a Blood Nose. For infantry, they have Lucky Gits, Man Biters, Ogre Biters, Gnoblars, Gnoblar Fighters, Gnoblar Man Biters, and then lastly, the Scalded Horde. For ranged units, we have Gnoblar Flingers, Powder Sniffers, Gnoblar Trappers, and Gore Spittles. For a sort of cav, we have Pigback Tossers, Pigback Riders, and Knights of Pig Barter. For monsters, we have a Giant, Yetis, which are the exact same Yeti that is used in the Are You Yeti mod, and there will be a card in the right-hand corner for you to check out that mod showcase. Rinox Riders, Saber Tusk Pack, a Gnoblar Scrap Launcher, and the Boom Squad. So for the battle demonstration, we're going to have a front line of Powder Sniffers with some Rinox Riders in front of them. Then we're going to have a middle line of Lucky Gits, and a back line of Gnoblar Trappers. Within the far back, a Gnoblar Scrapper, a normal Scrapper, and then another Gnoblar Scrap Launcher, a Giant, and the Head Honcho. So the Rinox Riders are probably the most powerful unit of this army comp, with the ability to take on most every single of these enemies on single-handedly. However, as these are monsters and they have a cav-like function, they actually are best for cycle charging. They also have the ranged capabilities, and look at this, when they come charging on in, look at how much damage these Bloodletters of Khorne took. They've now popped Locust of Wrath, and now these Rinox Riders are just going to come riding on through, completely unhindered by any of the Khornate warriors. Now, the Powder Sniffers are truly Powder Sniffers indeed. These just hurl explosive projectiles into the enemy lines, and when backed up by Gnoblar Trappers throwing their knives, this is a very potent combination, because you have an explosive blast, then you get impaled by knives, and now you have Lucky Gits charging into you and fighting you inside of melee combat. Also, Giants and Lucky Gits can sometimes be a good combo as well, because they are good at holding off enemies for long periods of time. Over here, Powder Sniffers are pulling back and Lucky Gits are bracing. Powder Sniffers are not really something you want to leave out in the open. Even though they're very powerful with their destructive blasts, they are still pretty vulnerable to enemy attacks because they are a ranged unit. More explosive blasts, and this is where the Powder Sniffers are really good, is inside of these very tight groups. Also, the Rinox Riders have a rear charge into a ton of Khornate units, which is going to do a lot of damage. They've also succeeded in just making a ton of enemies chase them all over the map. Over here, Lucky Gits are trying to hold the line against Chaos Warriors of Khorne, as well as the Herald of Khorne and some Fleshhounds of Khorne. However, that's not going to end well for the Lucky Gits. This is not a matchup they want to take, especially considering that you have the Head Honcho, one batch of Lucky Gits, and one batch of Gnoblar Trappers, holding back all of these Chaos Warriors of Khorne, plus the Fleshhounds. Over on the other side, Powder Sniffers are continuing to do some really heavy amounts of damage, just lighting up these Chaos Warriors of Khorne. They're getting blasted. Something else I've noticed about this unit is that during the tests, they always will wind up routing, so just be aware that with this faction, you have to tell units to get back into the fray quite often. Another thing I'd like to discuss is, I've asked the mod developer this, and he said that there are plans to make this a playable faction inside a campaign. So hopefully someday soon, we'll be able to see this faction faction inside of the campaign. And you'll be able to play these guys inside of the campaign. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Go check out the Discord server and this mod. Links to all that in the description below. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.